Good day, my name is Laimi Ipinge. Welcome to our third program for Grade 8 Fashion and Fabric learners. Today we are going to talk about the importance of pattern markings. At the end of this program, you should be able to
identify pattern markings, list methods of transferring pattern markings, carbon paper and tracing wheel, tailor's chalk and pins, and tailor's tacking. Identify information on envelope, instruction sheet, pattern piece including pattern markings. Dear viewers, today we're going to talk about the importance of pattern markings. There are many pattern markings. Let us take a closer look to see the different pattern markings, their names and meanings. Cutting lines. These are lines you follow when you cut the pattern. If the pattern is only for one size, then cutting lines will be solid and the seam lines where you sew are dotted or dazed. If the pattern is for more than one size, then the different sizes are represented by different lines. Grain line mark, a horizontal line with arrows on either end. Line up the line with the grain of your fabric. On the fold, this is the horizontal line with two arrows pointing in a specific direction. This marking shows where to put the edge of your pattern on a folded piece of fabric. This will help you cut the whole piece of pattern once. The piece is mostly indicated cut one on fold. Bust and hip indicator. These are small circle with closed line in the center. They will be placed at the bust and hip point of your pattern. Notched or diamond notches. These are often found at the edge of your pattern to show you where to line up two pattern pieces. Squares, circles, and other shapes. These can show up somewhere on pattern, but often around the neckline or armholes, to show you how to match two pattern pieces together. Lengthen or shorten lines, adjustment lines, two horizontal parallel lines, showing where pattern pieces should be lengthened or shortened to fit someone's measurements, especially the length. Buttonholes and buttons. The buttonhole is usually represented by a shape that looks like a capital I and an X to show where the actual button should be. Darts. These lines are usually in diamond shape with dots in the middle to indicate the stitching line of a dart. Tucks and gathers. They almost look like a square with dots and one line missing. The bottom dots show where you should pull the fabric to make it meet in the middle, while the vertical lines and dots at the top show where you should stitch. Pattern key. This helps to keep your pattern with the right side facing up. Match this on the instruction sheet. Now that you know the pattern markings and their meanings, it's important to know which pattern markings should be transferred from paper pattern to fabric, like notches, square and circles, button and buttonholes, darts, and tucks. Carbon paper and tracing wheel. Tailor's chalk and pins. Tailor's tacking. Now you are able to identify the three methods of transferring pattern markings from paper pattern onto fabrics.
This is the carbon paper that you use. Place it on this side. Pin it down. And then use your tracing wheel. Use your tailor's chalk to trace your pattern, the outer line of your pattern. Don't forget to indicate your notches. Tailor tacking for the dart. So you do the tailor tacking with the needle and thread. You do big tacks. These tacks are easily removable, so do your big tack. This is to help you indicate the lines for the darts. When it's time to sew your darts. You take your scissor, then you snip in the middle of the tack there. Dink ek het hierdie Then you lift your paper out carefully, and there is your tailor tack.
A pattern envelope has a lot of important information to help you when making a garment. Let's look at the information on the envelope's back and front. Here we find the following: front envelope, pattern trade name, pattern number, pattern size, style, number and photographs of a style to be made. Back look of pattern envelope. Here we find the following information: specific sizes of garment, body measurement chart, number of pattern piece, notches or accessories, description of garment, length of fabrics were completed, final measurements of garment and required or recommended fabrics, and front and back view of garment. You also find widths and lengths of fabrics needed, required buttons, zip lining, and interfacing, etc. Inside the pattern envelope, you find instruction sheets giving you step-by-step instructions on how to join the pieces together to make a garment, cutting layout chart, numbered pattern pieces and their names, etc. Pattern piece and its information: pattern name, number of pieces to be cut, example, cut 1 or cut 2, size, pattern identification number or letter, and pattern markings.
Now that we have come to the end of our lesson, let us look at what we have learned about pattern marking.
We learned the different important information on envelope, instruction sheet, and pattern piece.
Until next time, thank you so much. Goodbye.